Hello everyone. In this lecture, we will learning how to sort, filter, and group a data frame. Before starting the lecture, we have to load the required package, read the data into data frame, and we also display the first 5 rules. Okay. Now let's to the topic, sorting data frame. First, let's sort the data by one column. Here, maybe we choose GDP, sorted by GDP. We do in this way, DF, the data frame, then sort underscore values. We use by equal the column GDP. We can also add a seeding. The default seeding is true. Here we change true to false. That means deseeding. Okay, let's run it. You see the GDP from the largest to the smallest. Deseeding is false. Okay, in fact, we can omit this by equal. Just copy and test. We delete this. See, it still works well. So you can choose one of them. This one is readable for beginners. Okay, then in fact, we can also sort the data by 2 or more columns. Let's do it. df sort values. We just choose this. We add more. For example, we choose GDP. Here, maybe we just choose 2. For example, you can try more. Okay, let's run it. Yeah, you see, there's a year and GDP. Year also because of false. We can do in this way. We can put, for example, year is true. And GDP is false. Let's run it. You see, year is exceeding, GDP is deseeding. We can also put nars first. If there's a missing value, we can make it appears in front of the data at the beginning of the data. Let's try. Use this. Copy. Here we choose a population. As we know, population has missing value. Here we choose true or false. The default is false. You can omit it, then it's true. Here we test false. Okay, let's write. Oh yeah, we said is put nar first. Then we add something here as nar underscore position is first equal first. Here is the locus. First is locus. Yeah, if you capitalize, then it make errors. Okay, let's run. This is the pop. You see, here's nar. Here, if you change it to true, it still put the nar at the beginning of the column population. Okay, let's come to the second topic, field data frame. We can select columns use filter. Let's see. We do in this way, df filter. Then we can use items equal. For example, we just choose province. Another one, we choose year. We choose GDP. Just for example here, we choose 3 columns. Let's write it. You see, we choose province, year, GDP. Okay, we can select columns by regular expressions. The short form is regx. Let's see, how do we do that? We just still use df filter. Filter is a function. Then we use regx, this one. Here, for example, we want the columns contains P dollars. The dollar, that means the end of the column name is P. That means we also tell pandas the axis is row or columns. This is row. Sorry, is columns. So you see, we have GDP. The last letter P, pop is P. We can select rules containing something by like. Let's do it. Also df filter. No, we use like, because if you see our rule, we choose, for example, this index, we choose something like 12. Then we set access is 0, means rule. Let's write. You see, it's only this rule, 12. This is very meaningful when the index is string. Yeah, like this one, if we make province as the index, we can see the like 12 or like G, then choose this group, the Guangdong group. Okay, let's see how to fill by conditions. There's a lot of conditions. We choose something like df, then conditions, maybe the population. We choose the population columns. Here's a pop. Maybe we see great population columns greater than 10. Okay, let's write. You see, is this column population all are larger than 10 units. We do not care about what's the units here. Okay. There's in fact the Boolean operator used to subset the data. This is greater or equal, less or equal, equal, not equal. Besides, we can filter by multiple conditions, not this one. We choose population, maybe larger than 10, and year, which year, or GDP large or smaller, something like that. Okay, let's choose something like, there are different methods. In fact, we here, I just show some useful or important things, methods. First, use log with multiple conditions. Let's do it. DF, that means the data frame. Log, yeah, we learned this. Then we choose the, for example, here we use round bracket, the parentheses. DF, we choose which column. The DF, for example, the pop is string, the name. We have to add quotation mark, single or double. Yeah, here's bigger than 10. This one, then we use another and. Here's and. You can use all. Here's and. Then we choose maybe the GDP, the GDP, maybe let's say GDP 5, 6, maybe larger than 6. Here is greater than 6. And another one, we choose another one. Here, so we put another and. Then DF, maybe the GDPR, the GDP rank. Just for example, GDPR. GDPR is a string. Yeah, here GDPR is a string, first, second, third, and so on. We choose a string. Here, put a DF GDPR string. String what? String, maybe we start starts with something, starts with maybe just F, starts with F, first, second, yeah, this starts with F. Okay, now let's write name starts with is not defined. Oh, sorry, here is dot, we write comma. Okay, you see, just the first, and then meet all these conditions and start with F. Okay, we can use where, numpy where. Let's see, import numpy first. Numpy as np. Then we use np where. np where. Here we just copy this. It takes time to type all this. Okay, then let's write. Okay. Oh, we missed one. I think there's another one here. Parentheses. Yeah, you see, it says 13, 14, 15, 16. The index, just give the index. How about we get this data frame? It's not hard. We can do this way. We put index, maybe we call this index equal. Then we are just the df. We use the log index. Let's run df log index. Oh, we haven't run this. Run df. Oh, sorry. Yes, we add more. Just df log. You see, we get the same results as the log. Yeah, but we use np where. Also, we can use Panda query. We can write this way: df query. But difference, if we use df query, we use strings. Not this, but strings. Something like we just copy and maybe delete. You will understand. Here we just pop we use double quotation mark, pop, remove everything, this parentheses, and also GDP is bigger than 6. This one, you can leave space or no space. And GDPR, the string, then the start with the F, then we add another quotation mark. This, let's run. You see, but how about single? If we use single quotation mark, or be attuned to is there will cause an error. Why? Because here's a single quotation mark. Yeah, so we have used double, or it will cause error. Okay. In fact, there's another one we can use. Just copy and add one. I forgot to put this. We can use a value. A way like this. Let's do it. It's like this DF query, but here the difference we change to a evaluation. Let's run it. You see, it gives false, false, this. How about we get this data frame table? We can just add df, then the curly bracket, not the curly, is square bracket. You see, then we get the nice data frame table. Okay, let's see how to group the data frame. First, let's calculate the means of each columns for each province. For example, each column or all the meanings of the column. Let's do it. So first df, we use group by, df group by. Then group by what? Which columns? For example, here we use province. Then here there's a different way. You can add means here. Means, mean. Then the mean is a function like this. You see, you got all the province, Guangdong province meaning, Henan, the meaning, GDP, pop, all these columns meaning. Here you see there's decimals. Let's see how to do that. Maybe we just keep 3, round 3 or 2. Yeah, no, you see, it's only 3. But for the year, it makes sense. Makes no sense. Okay, we can calculate the meaning. For example, only one column of each province, like population. Let's do that. We can still use df group by. No, we use province. Then we use the population. Here, the data frame. Then the columns. Data frame. Enter it. That means we choose the population column. Pop. Then we calculate the meaning. We're not wrong. Here's some mistakes. Here is the province. Then the population. Group by. What's wrong with it? Oh, here we add a comma. No commas because group by province. Then the means the we choose only the population. Yeah, the data frame, then the population, then the meaning. That's right. You see, only the population. You can choose more here, add maybe GDP or other column. Okay, now let's calculate the meaning population for each year. Let's see more examples. Yeah, for years. Yeah, we just show it. More examples. Here, for example, we group by year, then we calculate the population meaning or sum. Maybe here we calculate the sum. You see, only the population sum. Okay, we also can choose the columns including nar, in group keys, or not by setting drop down parameter. In fact, the default setting is true, but here we let's take the false. We just, for example, let's type it. It's not so long. df group by. We choose function, then we choose the population. Population has missing values. Then we set drop nar is false. Here is false. Just now I said the defaulting setting is true, but here is false. Then let's make a summary sum function. Okay, let's write. You see the population. This is the sum, but here there's none because there's a missing value. So he just keep the null because we set is false. Okay, thank you for watching. Hope see you next lecture. Thank you.